Hello, hello. Nice to see everybody. Gosh, got up here, I felt a little left without my clicker here. Anyway, I want to say thank you so much for everyone participation and being here with me in this moment, on this day. And I want to say thank you to Tanya and Andrea and Jonathan for inviting me here to share what I hope is impactful for each of you. As someone that is passionate about change and transformation, specifically in regard to our industry, our beautiful industry, travel, hospitality, and tourism, I look for the conditions, the fertile conditions of what creates life to emerge, what creates opportunities for innovation, what creates space for new ideas, game-changing opportunities. And I want to say that since I've arrived here, I've seen and felt that. It is a very, very special time here in Saudi Arabia, and I am absolutely honored to be a part of it. So with that, when we talk about the fertile conditions to create change or to create more meaningful experiences, I've heard so much around architecture and design and landscape. You know, we've talked about experiences and amenities. We've talked about location, sense of place. But I haven't heard a lot about the individual, the human being, the human spirit, and how we as experienced designers and providers can really ignite that and invite our guests to meet the experience in the middle. That's bringing a new level of experience, design, and strategy into the space that provides unheard of value. And it comes at a good time because we are suffering from a crisis of good travel. We're disassociated with things that matter most, and our travelers are seeking something more. They're seeking more meaning. They're seeking more purpose. They're looking to stretch and learn and grow. As a result, the tourism space is unhappy. We're not the stewards that we should be in the space. We're not the stewards of our communities and our culture and our planet. And with the onset of AI, everyone's talking about AI, what makes me most excited about that is it's going to bring us back to being human. It's going to ignite our human intelligence. It's going to ignite our human intuition. And it's going to remind us that we have human imagination. And that's where the transformation economy steps in. And I'm here to tell you a secret about what that is and how you can weave that into your hospitality strategy. All right, as I said, tourism is going through a change. Systemic issues are threatening our own ability to be additive to the space and to our guests and to our community and culture. So what is the solution? What are we going to do about it? We're going to create a new tourism where we look into transformative experience design and blend that with the advancement of regenerative community development and thinking. And this holds the potential for tourism to shift the paradigm and create the type of experiences that change us, that move us, that help us become better versions of ourselves. So we are guiding this movement from the experience economy that we've very much been part of for the last 30 years into something bigger, more impactful, a transformative stage that fosters healing, growth, resilience, and brings homeostasis to our space and to the communities that we engage with. I'm going to tell you a little bit of a story. So it was around 2014 that I was running an inbound tour company in the Pacific Northwest of the States. And I got a little disenfranchised with the state of tourism. It seemed that everyone was traveling with ego, with entitlement, with expectations, all of which diminished the power of travel and left a disconnect between the type of experiences that we were providing and the impact that we wanted to have. So that led me on a journey. Decided to go to Kilimanjaro with some best friends of mine. There's 10 of us. At that time, I started playing around with this term called transformational travel. And so, as we approached the climb, we looked at it and we said, okay, let's set some intentions. Let's talk about the first half of our life on the way up the mountain. And let's reflect on what we want to do with our second half of life on the way down the mountain. Well, that turned out to be an impactful hike up that mountain that day. As the sun was rising, right as we were coming up to the false summit of Kilimanjaro, one of my friends, he started to cry. Tears started rolling down his face. And a few minutes after that, all of us were crying. We were 10 men crying, bawling on our shoulders. And it wasn't because we were tired. I mean, we were tired, all right? We knew that the mountain was symbolic for something more. We had integrated more meaning and purpose into that experience. And we felt it, and we shared it. And that is when I decided that I wanted to shift my career and dedicate it to transformational travel. And it's been 11 years, 2 months, and 5 days before I've arrived here to deliver this message to you today. So what was that experience? That was human flourishing. That was me feeling alive. Crying feels alive. Happiness feels alive. Joy feels alive. It's the full spectrum that we're aiming for with our experience design. Right now, I want you to take 30 seconds. You can leave your eyes open, or you can close them, but I want you to think about the last time you felt alive on the road. All right, so when we take a step back and we look at the opportunity to feel alive, which is ultimately why we are in travel, to help people feel alive. Okay, so how do we create behavior change? How do we make people better versions of themselves? That comes to the overview effect. Okay, so there's this phenomena of when astronauts get up to space and they have the opportunity to look back at Mother Earth for the first time. It stirs their soul. It shakes them up. All of a sudden, their perspective shifts. They recognize the interconnectedness of it all, and it changes them forever. So when we look at eudaimonia, human flourishing, and overview effect, these are the roots of transformative travel and the opportunity that experiences give us to change. So when I got back from Kilimanjaro, I was like, I'm going to unlock this. I'm going to look at travel through the lens of neuroscience, through the lens of positive psychology, spiritual transcendence. I'm going to look at biophilic design. And I'm going to look at creating the conditions, the practices, the principles, the techniques and tactics that allow us to have such experiences. And so where we discovered was it's all about that relation. How do we relate with ourselves? How do we relate with others? And how do we relate with the people and places, the cultures and communities, and the nature we encounter when we're on the road? It's this evolution. The business world has simultaneously been awakening to this opportunity to turn such experiences into incredible value. A mentor of mine, Joe Pine, who wrote The Experience Economy, who, if you haven't read it, I think it's must read for anybody in business, definitely a must-read for us in tourism. Recognized that it was shifting from the experience economy to the transformation economy, and this opportunity to rediscover who you are. And the organizations and businesses that helped individuals to become better versions of themselves were providing the next generation of value. And this has become that economic phase where businesses offer experiences designed specifically to create long-lasting change. So I won't bore you with the progression of economic value, but I do want to outline how we have been moving up this ladder and while we're at the final stage of this progression of economic value. A lot of us grew up in the service economy, right? And like I said, over the last 30 years, we've moved into the experience economy. We have experiences everywhere we go now, including coffee shops. These are opportunities for us to stage experiences. And that's what most of us in this room are doing. So what is that leap to the transformation economy? Well, the half step is creating more meaning, opportunities to make it more meaningful. If experiences are memory, experience economy create memories, meaningful experiences give us more impact, more connection. The next stage is transformations, guiding transformations. And as you can see here, when you're guiding transformations, it becomes more personal, more customized, less commoditized. It becomes more relevant to the guest. You can also charge more because you're providing them value that typically they're not seeing in other places. So the transformation economy and the transformation economy collaborative was born to better understand how to implement this into our hospitality and our tourism experiences. But what we've discovered in our research is that change is really hard. And I love this meme here. I could probably do this exercise with you right now and say, who wants change? And most of you would raise your hand. Most of us want to change. But the next question, I think, is even more fascinating. Who wants to change themselves? It's a little tricky. Even if you have good intentions, sometimes it's a little bit more challenging than you might anticipate. It becomes a bigger obstacle when you have to look at who's going to lead the change. And that's the opportunity that we have in this space and as leaders in this room. Because we are faced with quite a few challenges in this space. From over-tourism, we're seeing experiences become more and more superficial and artificial. We're seeing the ongoing commoditization and digitalization of our space. We're becoming more cooperative, more competitive, less cooperative. So the answers lie in behavioral science. How do we get people to shift? How do we get people to engage their experiences differently? It's around purpose, around mindset, around motivation. The definition of transformational travel is intentionally traveling to stretch, learn, and grow into new ways of being and engaging the world. This is the way that we need to be looking at the market. This is the way we need to be looking at our guests. The data is reflecting that people are seeking more meaning. They are seeking the opportunities to have a positive impact on themselves and the people and places they visit. But it needs to be an active engagement. It's not a passive engagement, right? We got to ditch the ideas around entitlement and expectation and get people to be more engaged so they can meet that experience and truly feel alive. So what does that shift look like? Difference between experiences and experience economy and the transformation economy. Well, what it is when we look at experiences, it's entertainment, it's engagement. You know, people are escaping. That's how we experience travel. When we look at through the lens of transformation, we see it oriented towards self-actualization and change. We start to look at the why of the experience economy. I want to relax. I want to go on an adventure. I want to taste good food. I want to experience cultures. But when you look at the why of the transformation economy, it's deeper. It's about seeking knowledge. It's about becoming more confident, more productive. It's about your well-being and well-being of others. It's not just happiness, it's about being fulfilled. And so when we look at how do we approach this? Well, we're known for awe and wonder, right? In transformation economy, it's more about reinvention and creating lasting change. But it requires a shift in how we approach the customer. We're uncovering and guiding transformations. We have to better understand their motivations. We got to help them set intentions. We have to help them be more present, help them be more aware, provide time for reflection, help them sustain motivation on desired change when they return. And we're seeing this wonderful boost in the demand. People, especially Gen Z and millennials, are seeking more ethical travel. They are craving encounters with the deeply real. And businesses are responding in different ways to meet this demand. We can see in our research that the goals are shifting. People are seeking to become more confident, more productive, more fulfilled, more resilient. And internally, we're seeing in the transformation economy that it ignites purpose, it ignites values. This generation that we want so desperately to be in our space, they're not going to sell out their conscience or their humanity for the work that they want to do. If we shift from being a service business to a transformation business, we light them up and we get them re-engaged. We see early adopters adopting different strategies to approach this transformation economy. Pre-trip discovery, building more bonding activities, offering co-created experiences rather than off-the-shelf trips. And lastly, we look at time. And you'll see the same shift here from the progression of economic value. It used to be about time saved. As we've moved into the experience economy, we wanted to spend our money wisely, right? And as we move into the transformation economy, we look at it as time well invested. That means both sides, both the experience designer, the hotel, the travel company, and the traveler are investing toward purpose, toward desired outcomes, and working as a team. So your challenge is to become more intentional, be more deliberate, and not leave these opportunities up to chance, right? Understand the human psychology. Understand what your guests are really seeking, and create the conditions for them to feel alive. Thank you very much. I want to say that as a gift, we will be giving you each a 2025 State of the Transformational Travel Industry Report as a thank you. And yeah, I hope you found value in this, and I appreciate it very much. Thank you very much.